Hello. Hi, Miss Sykes. Yes, ma'am.
Hi, Miss Rose.
Hey, hey.
How are you?
I am
They didn't
well.
say nothing.
No one hears me because I was muted this whole time. I apologize for that. So if I can ask everyone to please mute their mic, just to make the meeting a little bit easier. If you guys have a question, you can type it in chat. And be advised, the meeting is being recorded. I can tell you right now, the amount of people are in here, the thumbnails are so small, I cannot recognize anyone's face. But if you do not want to be, sort of your face to be captured on the video, please just turn your cameras off. You can still see the presentation, you just won't, again, you won't be visual to yourself. I don't know, unless you're speaking, I don't know if I can see you. I see I see about 7 or 8 people. Okay, Ms. Forster, if you can just stop presenting so I can grab. Let me show you, to grab my screen. I apologize for coming in. Come on, okay. Admit, okay. So I'm going to present my presentation. So welcome, parents. Again, welcome. Thank you. My name is Nicolas Raga. I'm the principal. I want to thank you guys for coming in. Just be advised, the meeting is being recorded. So if you don't want to be on video, again, the thumbnails are real small anyway. But if you guys choose not to be on video, just please turn your cameras off, and you won't be seen. Okay. And I'm just asking, just out of courtesy for everyone, to please mute your mics, just to make the meeting a little bit easier. Okay, so I do sound a bit muffled. I apologize for that. I don't know. Usually, I sound pretty clear with these headphones. Let me know. I can always turn the headphones off and try to yell into the laptop, I guess. Am I heard okay? I can turn off the headphones if you like.
You're fine.
Okay. So welcome again. Thank you. Thank you. There's 100 people in the room, which is great. This is a great turnout. Thank you for making the time for this. I'm going to try to honor your time. I'm going to take probably no more than an hour, hopefully less. I know you guys, this is like dinner time for, so thank you again. So I'm going to present my screen. You can take one more time. For those of you who have not seen the presentation, this is a link in the chat to
Yeah, I'm
gonna give you
looking
guys.
at it now.
Okay. So I'm gonna present.
I say, yeah, I'm listening to it now because I don't know what's going on.
Okay.
Turn the mic off.
All right.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
I think Marissa's mom is here. She looks crazy, but that might not be Marissa. Oh no, that is Marissa's
mom.
I just said that.
I didn't hear
Yes,
Okay. So this is my screen. If you guys get a little scared, this is my screen. So this is pretty much what I see on my end. So very hard to see anyway in terms of the video as people are coming in. So I'm going to just present this thing. Okay. So does everyone see this? Again, I linked it into the chat. So if you guys want to follow along on a laptop, whatever it is, you definitely can. The link is also in the presentation here. So, welcome. So this is the agenda for today. I'm going to try to go through it quickly, but also try to answer your questions as we go along. Ms. Caprio's in the chat, so she's going to help me out in terms of you guys are typing questions in chat. She'll be able to yell out the question, or if you guys want to type it as I get off, check back. So, big thing. Start off with this. I can ask whoever's speaking. I can't see it, so if you guys can mute your mic, please. It makes it a little bit easier for everyone to hear. Give me a second. I think I have to do it. And trying to identify a person. Sorry. Oh, it's Roldan. So, Roldan, if you can please mute your mic, it would be great. I can't find you in the big mess of. I see it. Okay. I see it. Okay. Okay. All right. Sorry. Big waiting list. Okay.
You see?
Okay. So the governor announced about a week ago, a little more than a week ago, that we are unfortunately going to remain in remote learning, or even sort of closed schools for the rest of the year. Not the governor, so the chancellor and the mayor did it, and then the governor sort of saying, well, maybe not, but it looks that way because the governor's already pushed back the stay-at-home order until at least May 15th. So, even if he decides to open schools, which will be great, we at the earliest a month before we go back. So the mayor said, you know what, we're going to close schools. We'll keep schools closed for the remainder of the school year. So the school year for us ends on June 26th. I don't know if, what's going to happen over the summer. They haven't given us any guidance, but for right now, the school year, the way we define it is June 26th. So we will remain in remote learning. So I know the message last week, kids were kind of saying, actually 2 weeks ago during spring break, they were saying, hey, there's no school.
Okay.
There's no physical travel to the school, but learning is still occurring, and we are doing it in this forum with remote learning. So we are following the remote learning structure. I just want to point you guys to two important links that help support us. The big thing is that because we have a remote learning structure, we also have, I hope you guys can see this, I think I shared the entire screen. We also have a period of live teaching.
You can see me?
I didn't share the screen? I thought I shared the screen. Ms. Capri, did I not share the screen?
Go on me.
Can't hear you. You on mute.
Oh.
I'm not seeing it. Okay, but go ahead.
Not seeing it?
I don't see it, but don't worry about it.
Okay. So in that second slide, it says remote bell schedule. So there is a period of live teaching from 9 o'clock in the morning until 12:20 in the afternoon. Each period is 25 minutes. There's pretty much no transition, so the one class. So we ask you to please follow the bell schedule. I'm not sure if I did that. But
What?
we're asking you to please.
How do I get that?
Okay, so we're asking students to please follow that, and it's been a little bit of a struggle since spring break because not only did spring break occur, and there was some confusion around whether we had, I sent out an email sort of 3 or 4 times to remind students. There was also a transition away from our normal video chatting. Thank you, Mr. Chan. Okay. Our normal Okay.
What happened?
Okay. So Mr. Chan is sharing his screen because it makes it a little bit easier to, I guess, for me to. Okay. Mr. Chan, does everyone see Mr. Chan's screen? I
Do
hope.
they know I'm on?
Yeah. Okay. So, guys, if you click on that second link in that the first link in the video, it shows the belt schedule. So we're asking students to please follow that belt schedule. So, for example, if they should be 55, and I'll show you how to get there in a little bit. Okay. So, they have work posted, but they're on. They know what work is too hard. It's a little bit too much, but the teachers are there ready to support you, and they are teaching live lessons, just like we're having lessons in school. The periods are a little bit shorter, but the teachers are getting straight to the point, giving the assignment, asking questions. So when I've been visiting classrooms, the energy, which understandable.
I can't see nothing.
Well, if you guys,
things at my nephew's school that they tell you at 6 o'clock, I could hear them, but.
Okay, so let me just paste the link again. If you guys check in the chat, you'll see the link to the presentation, just in case. You guys can always download the presentation as soon as I speed up. Okay.
Yes.
So we're asking students to please follow the bell schedule. That's number one. Number two, there's some FAQs there in terms of terms like things that we want students to do in terms of their decorum. It's a classroom. Yeah, we know you're in your house, but it's also a classroom. You have your classmates there. We're asking that you log in with your Westinghouse account. You have to identify yourself as a Westinghouse student. We're also asking you guys to classroom, force yourself, and and go from there. That's that one. Okay. So if you have any questions, if you want to reach out to the school, Ms. Rouse is available by phone call. Again, in the presentation, her number is in there. There's also her email, so feel free to reach out. Ms. Rouse is the parent coordinator, and she passes all information on to me. She texts me, she calls me, she emails me. It's an ongoing thing. Okay?
Excuse me. Hello?
That's what it said.
Where?
I'm sorry to
Your parents.
disturb you, but where are you finding the bell schedule?
So I'm not sure if you see the presentation. I linked the presentation in chat, but bell schedule is on the school's website. So if you go on westinghouseHS.org and click on the remote learning link, click on remote learning, you'll see the schedule there.
Okay.
Okay? Thank you.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. Okay, next item, next part of the presentation. All right, next big news, and this is very, very important. So I'm gonna go a little slower with this one because this is where most of the questions come up. I can ask, this is a tough one, so we can ask people just to mute their mics. Let me get.
Tell you that the Regents is canceled.
Okay, so the state also.
What time is over? I don't know, but I'm not staying. Don't burnt my glove. Oh, that's just right.
Sorry, I muted myself accidentally. The state canceled Regents this year. So this is very important to understand because it has implications for everyone who attends Westinghouse. I'm going to go from seniors all the way down. So actually, I'll go from 9th grade up because it's a little bit easier. So any course that ends in a Regents, as long as the student passes the course, then the students will get Regents credit. They'll get a waiver for Regents. It's as if they passed it, but they won't get a score. They'll just have like a code on their transcript that says, yes, you got the Regents credit, we'll give you a pass this year. So, but the student has to pass the entire.
Bro, I don't want to take no math Regents.
So, let's say, for example, a 9th grader this year, we have them scheduled to take 2 Regents. They have to take the Algebra Regents and they have to take the Living Environment Regents. As long as they pass both courses, which means the entire course from September all the way into June, they have a passing score, 65 or better in January. That's, let's say, Living Environment 1, then they do it again, Living Environment 2, 65 or better. They get the Regents credit. They get a waiver for the Regents. They don't have to take the science Regents. Same thing applies for the math. Some ninth graders are also scheduled to take the ELA Regents, the STEAM students who are taking 4 credits of English in ninth grade. As long as they pass the entire English course, they will also receive credit for the Regents that they won't have to take it. Move up to 10th grade. Most 10th graders are taking the geometry course, which ends in the Regents. As long as they pass the geometry course, Geometry 1 and Geometry 2, they will get credit as if they pass the geometry Regents, which will satisfy the requirement from the state where you have to pass the math Regents. Let's say you failed the algebra Regents in ninth grade and we put you in geometry. Now, as long as you pass the geometry course, you'll get the math credit as if you passed it. Important test in 10th grade is the global exam. All 10th graders, as long as they pass the courses in global, they will be able to get that Regent sort of waived and they'll get credit as if they've taken it. 11th grade, same thing. The 11th graders are also taking the global Regents this year, or they were scheduled to take it, and now as long as they pass the course, again, they will get that Regents credit. Same thing for the advanced classes. If you're taking an Algebra 2 course, a chemistry course, a physics course, as long as you pass the entire course, we can give you the waiver for the Regents. Going up to seniors, the same thing. As long as you pass the course in the past, let's say ninth grade, you've taken the algebra Regents, the algebra course, you failed the algebra Regents, and you kept taking it. As long as you show an intent to or attempt to take it and pass it, then we can give you the waiver for that particular Regent. That's pretty much what the next couple of slides say in terms of the presentation. So I'll just quickly.
I'm sorry. Can you please repeat that?
Which part?
I'm sorry. This is Michelle. Can you please repeat that?
So any student who is supposed to take
I have a quick question. I'm sorry.
Yes.
You're saying that the grades that are scheduled to take the the Regents, the grades that are scheduled. You're going in and out.
I'm listening.
I don't know if I can. The grades
I think someone else is
supposed to take the Regents, 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th. They have Regents that they are assigned to take. Am I correct?
Correct. So what that means is that as long as they pass the course in which
it's too much going on here. I mean, is this a parent conference or is this for kids? This is ridiculous.
Okay, well, we're trying to manage. I know it's a little difficult. So if you're not speaking, please mute your mic. I have one parent that's asking a question. Somebody else who is speaking, if you can please mute your mic, it's a bit easier. So, Mom, go ahead with your question. I apologize.
I'll just leave it unmuted.
Is this Nathaniel?
Yes, it's Mom.
I'm sorry. Excuse me. Because just like she's saying, it's a problem. This is Najee Peters' mom.
Okay.
While we're on the phone, if you're not asking a question, can you please mute your phone?
Thank you. I think everyone heard that. Thank you very much. I think we're good. I'm sorry.
Thank you.
I think the question was, as long as the course culminates in a Regent, then they get credit as if they, as long as they pass it, they have to pass the entire course. As long as that course culminates in a Regent, they will get credit as if they pass it. So it doesn't matter what level it is.
Okay, this is still Michelle. This is still Michelle. Okay. It's not working.
I hear you. Go ahead.
So the question I have is, if they took the RC, if they took the Regent for 10th grade and they failed it, but they passed that class, they were rescheduled to take it again. Will they get credited for that test? Is the question.
That's an excellent question. The answer is yes, as long as they've shown that they attempted to retake it. Let's say in 10th grade, they failed it, whatever it was. But now we're 11th grade. January rolls around and you attempted again, you failed it, or you've taken a Regents prep, and we can show evidence of that. You get that Regents, yes. But it has to be within the window of the past 3 administrations. So June 2019, which means last June, August 2019, or January 2020. As long as we can show a paper trail that the student was attempting to take it, whether they, maybe they missed it, they were absent, but we can show a prep course that we programmed them for, maybe some sort of communication, which is something we have on hand, that says the student intended to take it, but they show a paper trail in the past, and they've attempted numerous times, and yes, we can give that credit. Even if you failed it last year, it doesn't matter. Or even if you're supposed to take it for the first time and it culminates in the Regents, you will get credit this year. Okay, but I have to stress that it's very, very important that they pass the course in which culminate in the Regents. So let's say they failed that course and it was let's say living environment, and this was 9th grade, now the child's in 11th grade, and they have not yet made up the coursework for that particular course, then this summer, or PM school and Saturday school is going on right now, we have to make sure that they complete that coursework by August. As long as we can show they completed that particular coursework, even if it's from the 9th grade, they can get that Regents credit. So that's our strategy for the next month, month and 3 months, whatever it is, until June, and then over the summer, our strategy is to ensure that the students who have taken and have not been successful in passing the Regents, we have to ensure that those students also pass the course. If they pass the course, then we can give them the credit, and that's how it works. Okay, it's a lot of legwork on our part. We're going to ensure that everybody sort of takes advantage of this, but we need your help as parents to make sure the kids do the right thing. Make sure they pass the courses that we scheduled them for, and there may be some courses that we didn't have room in the schedule to schedule them for, and maybe they're taking a PM school, or they're taking a Saturday school course, or maybe even that's sort of, they're way behind and they're busy then. They have some other commitment in terms of other coursework we've given them. Then we're going to schedule them for summer school, and they have to go to summer school. They have to complete this, because after August, then we're back to normal, and the students will be responsible for any Regents that they do not get a waiver for. Okay? I hope that answered the question.
Hi, this is Elijah Clerge, mom. Can I ask a question?
Yes, absolutely.
So in terms of the AP test, I know I asked it in the chat and someone stated that it's still on. How is that happening?
So it's happening online. The AP teachers have been in communication with the students. They are going to do this via computer-based. So the AP exam is normally, I know Ms. Gerard's on here, but I think she's muted. Normally, if we do it in school, it's like a 3-hour exam. We lock them in a room somewhere, and we put them in there. We have proctors, and
I'm really here if you want me to talk about it.
Yeah. So I'm gonna pass it on. Rod is the principal of humanities, but she's also in charge of all the AP exams, so she can speak to this a little bit better. But I know it's done online now, and there's specific days. Whatever calendar day they were supposed to take it, that's the day they will take it. But the exam is a lot shorter. It's 45 minutes, and there's some technology needs and security stuff that they have to have in place on their license in order to make this happen. Ms. Gerard can speak to it. I'll pass the floor to her.
So I'm hoping everyone could hear me. Yes. I think Mr. A did a good job in explaining. So the exam, as he said, is only 45 minutes. So it is also, students are allowed to use their books. It's open book, but we recommend that students do not use their books just for the fact it might take them 45 minutes to scan all their notes to find the answer. They've been practicing for the specific type of questions that will be asked on the AP exam. So this is an amazing opportunity. If your child is in advanced placement, they should take the test again, because it's only 45 minutes. It's either 1 to 2 questions that the students have to address, and they can get their college credit. So they need a 3 or higher on that exam. And this is seriously a once in a lifetime opportunity. AP College Board never, ever changes their format. And obviously, because we're all sheltered in, they're doing something that really can help your child be successful. Your child could get those 3 college credits. So please, I know some kids really were giving a little pushback, but we would like them to sit for that exam. Is there any other questions, or did I address it?
Perfect. Okay, thank you, Lisa.
You're most welcome. If anyone has any questions further, I'll put my email in the chat.
Mr. A.
If we can ask questions, Johnson, so please mute your mic. I think you're the one sort of speaking for everyone.
Hey.
Yes, question. I hear you. Go ahead.
You know how I was in YBC, right? And I had it last semester. So I took algebra last semester and I passed it. So that means I don't need to take the Regents this year, right?
I would have, Jordan, I would definitely have to look at your transcript, but I think if we didn't schedule you for another math class this semester, then we should be fine. So the idea is to pass that, right? You wouldn't have, as long as you complete the course. Yeah. And we've shown attempts to pass the Regents in the past, and you weren't successful. You know, it is what it is at this point. So we can give you credit for that Regent, so you wouldn't have to take it.
All right.
It's a unique opportunity for everyone, including ninth grade all the way up. After August, then all bets are off at this point. So you want to definitely take advantage of the opportunity now. Make sure you're passing all of your courses. So that's a good segue into my next little piece. Let me just go
Mr. Arzwaga, I'm sorry. There was a question in the chat from Ms. Flash. How will the waiver be applied to college now eligibility, which is tied to a specific score?
And that's a very good question. So the state hasn't given us any guidance in terms of college and career readiness with the specific score. It's all about, like, at this point, they're just saying, you know what, let's give everyone a pass this time. If that's something that you should pursue, which is something we're looking at for accountability for our part, but also for the students, for the college and career readiness, in case the parents aren't aware, in order to be college and career ready, to deem ready to walk into any college, the state feels like you have to earn a 70 or better on the algebra Regents and take higher level math courses. At Westinghouse High School, we give high school courses all the way up to calculus. So we go algebra, geometry, algebra 2, pre-calculus, and calculus, all the way up there. And calculus and pre-calculus are considered college level courses, but we do that on high school level. So as long as you pass the algebra Regents with a 70 better and take 2 higher level math courses, you are deemed college ready in math. And ELA, you have to get a 75 or better on the ELA Regents. Students who pass the ELA Regents, our agencies will do a wonderful job, and they usually get 80s or better on the ELA, which we do pretty well on that. So as long as you get that, then you get the college and career index. The waiver is not going to be considered like 100%. It's almost interpreted. It's not going to be average at all, but it's almost interpreted as a 65, the bare minimum to pass. So if you want to, which we're going to encourage the underclassmen to do so, we're going to retake we're going to schedule for it. Let's say when the Regents start up in January again, we'll schedule for that. Again, it's risk for all reward because you already got the credit for it. Now it's all about getting the college and career readiness. So there's no score attached to the waiver, just like a special code that they put in transcript. But in order to get a score, we're going to schedule students for it. And again, no risk, just reward. Even if you fail it, it's not going to override the waiver that you received. So definitely take it because, again, there's no risk involved.
Hi, Mr. A.
Yes, I'm listening. Hi.
Hi, this is Marissa's mom. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm very quiet because I'm listening. For Marissa, who is in ninth grade, when is it a good time for me to start looking about colleges? Is it ninth or 10th grade?
In terms of college, they start now. Like we are college access for all school. So we did schedule some trips this year. They did cut the budget this year before this whole Corona thing. They did cut the budget a little. So our trips were a little bit lighter this year than they were in the past. But we did organize a couple of trips local. So we do, for ninth grade, we do local trips like SUNY and stuff. 10th grade, we do day trips to, let's say, SUNY or some schools that are within a bus drive, but you can come back the same day. 11th grade, we do the overnight trips because they go further upstate, or we do like the HBC colleges. And then 12th grade, honestly, no offense to 12th graders, at that point, you should have made a decision. We don't take any college trips. We might have some college trips early in the fall, but at that point, after that little window of time, we don't let the seniors go on college trips, or we don't sponsor them because at that point they should have made a decision. So it's a great question to ask. When should I start thinking about college? Right now. That's the answer. And the way to prepare for it is get your GPA up. Make sure your GPA is as high as possible. Colleges are getting very competitive in terms of their admission policies. They're looking at 85 or better across the board. You guys can mute your mic, please.
You're already connected. They know that you're there.
Okay. Yes. I'm sorry, Ms. Harris.
I'm sorry. Seeing that the ninth grade was cut short for her in means of being in the building or whatever, and all the activities that normally goes along with ninth grade. So you guys are gonna resume all of activities like college tours and all of that for September?
Yeah, absolutely. We'll have our college advisor there as well to make sure that we start engaging that stuff. We don't know what the budget's gonna look like. Most of our trips, my policy is that we try to make kids pay as little or nothing for anything that goes on in school. Anything school related, we should be sponsoring. So any bus trips we always do. We always pay for food. We pay for the buses. We have to pay for lodging, whatever it is. That's something that the school does. What we normally do, if it costs us money, we ask them for a deposit, and if they don't show up to the trip, we put that back in the bank account. But if they show up, we give them back their money. That's like the funny money. But we don't know what the budget's going to look like next year. I can't guarantee anything. But that's normally my policy is because, again, we're public school. We want to make sure we want to open the opportunity for everybody. We don't want to sort of have a price as a deterrent because it's to see a college. I grew up on public assistance. I grew up homeless. I know what it's like to not have something, not be able to be a part of something because of that. So I want to make sure that my students are afforded every opportunity and then some. That's my idea. So I spoil my kids just like I spoil my kids in my house.
Thank you.
Hello?
Yes.
Hi.
I hear.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I hear you. Go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yes, Ms. Corbin, if you can mute your mic, please, if you're not speaking.
Hello?
Yes, I hear you. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. If I don't know whether they answered the question, I couldn't see it. But if a child passed living environment in the ninth grade, but didn't pass the Regents, will they get credit for it in June?
Yes, yes. The answer is yes, as long as we show that course depending on when they last took the Regents. The answer is yes. Let's say they were 10th grader now. They failed it in last June. They tried it again in August, they didn't pass it, or they tried it again in January, they didn't pass it. We have all of our 10th graders a prep course anyway, so the intent was to schedule it in June.
He's in 11th grade.
That means last year we give them the course and we as long as they show a paper trail of we can waive it.
As long as I can't hear, as long as what?
As long as we can show a paper trail, like that means they've taken it at least one time in June 2019, August 2019, or January 2020, then we can show that they intended to retake it in this coming June, and we can apply the waiver. That's the rule.
Oh, okay, because the person's in the 11th grade, and they took it like 2 or 3 times already.
Yeah, that's fine. So we can just look at it. Do you want to just send me an email afterwards, or send Ms. Rice an email, and I can look at it and we can get back to you.
Okay, and the other thing is, when is this? When is the report cards due?
So the end of the market period is May 1st, which is next. It's next Friday. The end of the market period is next Friday, not this Friday. Next Friday. The grades are due by the teachers on May 5th, and we'll have an open school, like a parent-teacher conference, that Thursday. And I'm hoping we can have that similar to this, where we can open up the school for teachers, and you guys can sort of pop in and view and chat with teachers. I have a phone call with the chancellor tomorrow, like the whole city does, and hopefully that's a question that he can answer. So we don't know yet.
Oh, you don't know when the report cards are going to be out?
Well, I know when the report cards will be out. The report cards will be out next the week of the 4th. I know that when they'll be out, but in terms of having an open school, like a parent-teacher conference, I'm not sure we're allowed to have that. I would love to have it. If not, we can try to organize something during the day, schedule, that we can have the parents discuss the grades with the students.
Oh, okay. So you'll send out an email or some sort of text message as to when the report cards are out.
Absolutely. The report cards will be posted on People Pad, but I'll let you guys know that. As soon as it comes out.
Okay, thank you.
The report card will be email to us.
I'm sorry, say again?
Will the report card be mailed or emailed?
No, unfortunately, we're not in the building, so we have no access to printers to be able to mail anything. So everything's going to be done online, so that you can view it on People Pad.
Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome.
Hi, this is Nandi Peter's mom. I have a quick question.
Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead.
There's Saturday program that the kids have to attend starting this Saturday.
Yes.
That is a credit class. Will
Yes.
that class apply for the class that he failed, which was math, or is it going to be an elective credit?
It depends on what we schedule him for. I can check Najee. I can get back to you. I'll write his name down. I'll make sure I get back to you. But
Okay,
I think
and
we
second
juggled a few programs just to take advantage of this new Regents thing. So we did juggle a few. You may have been one of them.
Okay, and second question, I hear you saying that the kids had to previously take the exam in order to get credit. So what about our ninth graders that's supposed to be taking the Regents for living environment this year? What happens with them?
So as long as the course culminates in the Regents, they want, the goal was to schedule them and have them taken in June. We can't do it now. So every kid, every student, as long as they pass the course, they get the credit. So the math course, the living environment course in ninth grade, they will get the credit. As long as they pass the course itself, they will get the Regents waiver.
Okay, so
they would not have to retake it.
Okay, so were they supposed to take a math Regents in the ninth grade?
Yes, in June. Sorry, everyone takes it in June.
Okay, so he failed the first marking period, and he's supposed to be in a Saturday class for the math. So if he passes the Saturday class,
he's in. I see it. He's in.
Okay, so if he passes,
yes, he has to pass that Saturday class plus pass the class he's scheduled for now. So right now he's got Mr. Taylor, Mr. Collier.
Yeah.
So as long as he passes right now from this window of time from February to June, and he makes up the course on Saturday, then he will get the Regents credit correct.
Okay, great. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. Okay.
Hi, good day. This is Miss Smart, Janice Smart's mom.
Hi. Yes.
Hi. I just wanted to find out: are we going to be having a meeting for the senior parents? Because there's a lot of changes due to COVID-19. So I just wanted to follow up to find out if we're going to have a separate meeting for the seniors.
Yeah, I am going to schedule one. I haven't scheduled one yet because there's a bunch. The biggest question we're asking is, okay, how do we handle some of the refunds that for the senior dues? How do we handle some of the other stuff like the prom that was paid out and stuff like that? So that's the big question. We're trying to get some guidance on, okay, how do we do that? Because I don't, we're getting the deposits back. I think the vendors have sent us back our deposits. So again, it goes back to the school. So we got to deposit that check, and it's a check. So the way the school account is set up is that the secretary writes a check, and you have to have two administrators sign it.
Yeah, that's correct. Ms. John Via explained all of that to me today. She was very helpful. She
Yeah, so
explained
I'm
that
trying.
all of that to me today. My
Yeah.
concern is I
Mhm.
know that they're gonna get, you know, credit for the regions, but I also know that there's regions diploma and the regular diploma. So I just
Mhm.
wanted to know if we're gonna have a senior meeting for the parents to address things like that.
Yeah,
Because those
absolutely.
kids won't get a chance next year to do anything.
Exactly. So what? Absolutely, and pretty much the path that we're looking at, whatever path they were supposed to be on. So if it's supposed to be a Regents diploma, then we'll put them on a Regents diploma. If they show that they can the other to get up, and they came back over the summer. They've taken it again. They failed again. They took it in January. They failed again. That particular person will get that advanced reasons diploma because they showed a paper trail or the attempt to keep doing it. So stuff like that, we'll look at it, and again, we're going to try to give them the best diploma as possible, depending on what the history of their attempts are. Let's say I failed the math Regents, and I got the safety net. I have an IEP, and you know what? I'm not going to take this anymore. I got the 55. I'm good. And you did that in ninth grade, and you didn't show any attempts from ninth grade to now, then no. The answer is you can't get a Regents diploma because you haven't shown a history of trying to retake it and all that stuff. But for someone who we know that has been trying, and it just sort of wasn't, just couldn't make it over the hump, even if you didn't get any close to passing, then there's a good chance that we can look at the a better, like a regular Regents diploma or the advanced Regents diploma. So we're definitely looking at that. And there's gonna be a lot of advanced Regents diplomas we're giving out this year because of the students who have taken it in the past. So it's a benefit to the students to show the colleges that they have an advanced Regents diploma. It's also a benefit to some of the students who are graduating with IEPs that they're going to get a regular diploma, which means they're going to be able to go into regular classes, go into college, which is a great thing. So we'll make sure, again, I love my students. We set them up for success as well. So we have to also be realistic with, what our students do. We have to sort of say, you know what, yes, you have this diploma, but we know you were struggling in this. I still recommend you take this remedial course because this is going to help you be successful down the line. You don't want to throw away money. After you walk out of Westinghouse High School, everything now becomes, you have to come out of your pocket or something, even a Metro card. The biggest thing when kids come back, they beg me for a Metro card. Any graduate that comes back, they say, Mr. A, can I get a Metro card? Because the biggest thing that hits them is that the fact that they have to pay to get on the train back and forth. That $275 each way is no longer successful. Okay, so I hope I answered that question.
Okay, so do you know how soon the meeting would be though for the seniors?
I think let me talk to Ms. Janvier and Mr. Polari. I want to make sure I have the answers for, like, that's the academics. I'm glad you're asking the academic question as opposed to the other part, the senior stuff. But I want to make sure I have the answer for the senior stuff as well. I don't want to waste anyone's time and say, okay, we have a senior meeting for this, and then we have to come back and do another one. So it'll definitely be within the next 2 weeks.
Okay.
I've been asking, every meeting I have with the superintendent, I keep asking the same question, and every school asks the same question. One thing that we'll love to do, definitely not in this forum, I refuse to do it this way, is to have a graduation for our students. And I definitely want to have this graduation, whether it's in August or maybe it's a time where everyone's back from college, and maybe it's around Thanksgiving, whatever it is, wherever we know college is closed because they have break, and maybe we'll organize a graduation that way. We'll do like a graduation evening at dinner, whatever it is. I want to make sure that we have a graduation, give you guys an opportunity to put the cap and gown on, take pictures of your kids, to celebrate them for high school, because it's something that unfortunately we cannot offer now because schools are closed and we're in this sort of stay-at-home order. So I think that's something you guys deserve, and I want to provide that, whatever it is. So that's my goal, and I'm hoping I can make that happen in early fall, maybe late summer, whatever it is. As soon as we get the okays that we can have these public gatherings again, then I'm going to explore trying to offer a graduation, and whatever's the best date, maybe it's a weekend, whatever it is, I'll make sure I move mountains to make sure this thing happens, so we can get our
excuse me, Mr.
Okay. I'll be looking for my email. Thank you.
Yep, you're very welcome. Yeah, okay, I got to move on. Let me just, one last question, I'm going to move on. Go ahead, go.
Okay, so my grandmother actually suggested that in 2021, y'all should actually have a double graduation for those who aren't able to graduate this year.
It might be a possibility, but I just don't want to lose, a lot of things can happen in a year. So people move, people relocate, whatever it is. So I think as we get the further away we move from the graduation date, one thing it loses is luster. It loses sort of its appeal. So as close as I can get to like the June graduation date, if I could do it in August, great. If I could do it early in the school year, we have sometimes those holidays that schools are closed. Maybe we could pick a day where the college is available. We could have it then. So I want to get it as close as possible so that we can make seniors to participate as possible. And again, seniors, if you're in this thing, graduation, I want to be honest with you, it's not for you. It's for the parent. It's for the parent to celebrate you, to honor you, and say, hey, my baby did this. I did this. I'm proud of you. They want to cry. They want to hug you. They want to see you walk across the stage in a cap and gown. They want that. They want to embarrass you a little bit because you've been giving them run for their money for the last 13 years, whatever it is. School, from age 5 all the way to 18. This is their time to celebrate you, to say, hey, you know what, my baby did this. This is an accomplishment. So don't try to say, Mom, I want to do graduation. It's already passed. Don't do that. It's not for you. It's for your parent. So keep that in mind. All right, let me move on real fast. So we're asking parents. I'm asking parents for help because this is something that we're struggling with as a school. The students, I mentioned the bell schedule a million times before we started this Regents thing. The students are not showing up the way we want them to in terms of attendance. I was there this morning again with some classes, and if we had 30 kids, we're supposed to have 30 kids in the class. There were 15 there, including 2 teachers and myself. So we're talking about 12 kids. So I was really upset this morning. I went into an AP class. Again, the AP exam is coming up in a couple of weeks for these students, and this is the senior class. Not only is it AP, but it also is the English 8 class. So if you fail English 8, you cannot graduate. Nothing about the Regents, it's about the course. So if you don't pass that class, you cannot graduate. I was there, and there were 7 kids in the class, and they have a register of 24 kids. 7 kids. You got to be kidding me. Like, what are we doing at 9 o'clock in the morning if we have a stay-at-home order that we can't get up out of bed to sort of attend class, that the teacher's there, and they're going through strategies. She's telling you, okay, I need you to talk about, I forget the name of the book. I forgot. Fahrenheit. I'm sorry, I forget the name of it, but she was talking about that and strategy.
Fahrenheit 451.
Thank you, Fahrenheit 451. She was talking about that this morning. She was telling the kids, this is what you write about, this is how you do it. Take a couple of notes here, like Ms. Gerard said, it's a little bit open book, but she said, I don't want you flipping pages, having 40 pages of something written. I want you to just have like one sheet of paper that you can go back and reference, and just to give you guys an indicator, you read the book, you know what it's about. So maybe there's some key ideas that you forgot, go back and look at your notes real fast, and then you can sort of answer the 2 questions. So the students are not showing up, and I need you guys, and again, if you're home, that's a beautiful thing. But if you're not home, again, you're out there, you're in the trenches, you're out there in the front lines. Thank you for that. Thank you for your service. Thank you for helping us out. Even if you're not considered a frontline person, a medical worker, police, fireman, EMS, maybe the person delivering food every day, maybe the person making Amazon rich because I'm ordering stuff left and right from Amazon, and maybe that delivery person, thank you. Maybe you work in the supermarket, thank you again. Maybe you work in a butcher shop, a gas station, thank you again, because you're leaving the house, you're putting yourself in danger, you're exposing yourself to the elements, this virus that's out there, thank you again. So if you're out there doing that, and your child is laying in bed, and they're staying in bed at 12 o'clock, you know what? You gotta have a problem with that, because I have a problem with that. I have 2 children in my house. I have a 23-year-old. I don't think I say 3 words to him because I'm so upset at him. Every time I tell him, because the attitude, whatever it is, I can't put him out the house because I can't put him out. I don't want to kill him. So he's in the house. He's a college kid, but he's upstairs and he does God knows what. But my 15-year-old, he's downstairs. He doesn't have live instruction like you guys do. He goes to private school, and all they do is post work, and they say, you know what, you got a deadline of this time. Make sure you get it in. And he tries. He tries to skip assignments. Yesterday, I got on him because he skipped music the 3rd time. And I looked at it. I checked on his Google Classroom stuff, and sure enough, he missed music. I said, what are you doing? Then he tried to write 3 sentences and try to upload it. I said, no, you're going to redo this again. You're going to redo this again. I mean, I threatened his life at I didn't hear anything, but I wouldn't, like I always do, get it better. But be a parent. I'm asking you guys to be a parent. You guys know Mr. A. Mr. A says things you probably shouldn't say. I'm challenging you as parents. Please help me out. Please help your child out. Make sure you're checking on them. They should be in Google Classroom. It's very, very easy. They shouldn't have any issues. If they don't have a device, in that presentation, there's a link there. I'm going to link it in chat as well. Please request a device. Even if you have a device, request a device. The DOE is loaning out devices. They've got 60,000 devices left. Why can't all 730 of my kids have a device just in case? People's laptop dies. Technology dies. The internet dies, whatever it is. The iPad that the DOE is loaning out is connected to 5G. It's on the AT&T network. It's an iPad. It's not like a Wi-Fi device, but it's an iPad. Doesn't have a keyboard and stuff, but again, it's an iPad. It's a big iPhone. A lot of you guys have iPhones. Just have it. Order it. Request one. They'll send it to you, and at least you'll have a backup. Or maybe you'll have a second screen. You can have one if you're working on a little Chromebook, or if you're working on your iPhone, whatever it is. At least you have a second screen to sort of go back and forth. Some of you guys have that challenge. Don't be stubborn. Don't poo-poo the free stuff. Last year, I was giving out free phones through Sprint. I said, hey, take the $1 million phone. Just do the voucher. That's all you got to do. And people are like, oh, I don't want this. I don't want that. It's a free Wi-Fi hotspot. They went from 3 gigs of free internet every month until you graduate. Last year, they bumped up to 10 gigs of free internet every month until you graduate. I unfortunately have no more devices. I backed it up for some in September. They said, we ran out. We'll get back to you. We called them. They didn't answer the phone, so they have no more devices to give out. So I wish you would took advantage of it last year. I'm asking you now, again, take advantage of it. Request a device, please. Even if you have one, even if you have 3, request another one. Just request a device. They send it to you, and then when you to school, you give it back and call it a day. Okay?
Mr. A, can I say something?
Yes.
In regards to Marissa, she gets up at because I'm a morning out of my bed from 5 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
Marissa gets up 7:30 every morning, but there are times when the link does not work, and she email her teachers. I even, because once she brings it to my attention, I jump in, I email the teachers, I identify myself. This is Marissa's mom, Jennifer, because I normally use my first name. Sometimes I use my last name, but most times I use my first name. And I inform them that the link does not work. And sometimes they hit me back or hit Marissa and says, okay, go in the banner. We go in the banner, it still doesn't work. So that holds her back, and that goes against her negatively that, okay, Marissa didn't log in. But normally, on any given day, she's always in class. Anytime she doesn't pops up is because she's trying relentlessly and the link is not working, and she gets frustrated, and then she say, Ma, and my link is not working, and what am I supposed to do? And it makes her frustrated.
So I do apologize for the technical issues. Sometimes it happens, but I can tell you this: we ask the teachers to redo their links. I know if you have Mr. Duffy, he has a different link. So the banner won't work.
I never heard of his name.
So, but some teachers do that. They do like this nickname thing because it makes it a little bit easier to manage. But if you are having issues with teachers, they're not communicating back to you. But also remember, 25 minutes is a very short amount of time. You think it's a lot? It's a long time.
I know.
The day goes by so fast. Like I pop into a classroom, and then sometimes I get a phone call or I have to answer something else, and I try to go back to observe a class. I'm going to pop into this 3rd period class, and I realize, oh my God, it's already 5th period because the time flies. So the link will only work when the teacher's in the room with the students and during that window of time. So every period is different. That's a good segue into what I was going to mention. So in the presentation on slide, I know it's a little hard for me to see it, but on slide 12, the students should use their Google Chrome account. They log into Chrome, and in the upper right-hand corner, they log in, they hit the little waffle button. All the links for any tools they need to accomplish remote learning with us is there. So they have the email there. They have the drive where they save all the stuff on it. They don't have to save anything on the computer. They have the Hangouts, the link that we're talking on now, the Hangouts Meet. It looks like a little chat bubble. Right next to it, they have a Google Classroom link. They click on the Google Classroom, and they should see all the classrooms they are in there. Now, if they go into the wrong period, of course, the teacher won't be there because they're probably teaching a different class, or they have their break, their 25-minute break based on their bell schedule. So whatever it is. But if you have any issues, I put my email in the chat box. Definitely send me an email. I'm on the computer. I'm in there from 8 in the morning, and sometimes I don't get off the computer. I get yelled at by my wife all the time. Probably 8, 9 o'clock at night, I'm still in emails and sending text messages out. I'm sending out. Some of you guys probably are getting a phone call right now saying your child was absent from school today, even though I see them now. You're probably getting that as well because the teachers, if they didn't see them in their live classroom, they marked them absent.
Hello?
So, yes, I hear you. So
this is Jaden Ward's mom. So I continuously get the same thing from Jaden while I'm at work, him stating that he can't get into his classes. Is there any way he can just email the teacher, let the teacher know that he was trying and he'd get credit for the attendance?
Yes, he definitely can, but it has to be within that window. So, and we're going to give him guidance. So definitely, I would definitely copy me on it. I usually, sometimes the teachers, they're teaching and I send them a text message and it pops up quicker. So I might text the teacher or I'll ask one of my cabinet members because we're all on it. We text the teachers, we call them, say, hey, where are you? Like I had an issue yesterday. I was observing and I went to Mr. O's class and Mr. O was teaching. I don't know if you guys know Mr. O. Mr. O loves to speak just like Mr. A does. So he was in one class and I'm in the other class. I'm like, okay, Mr. O's not here. The kids are here. I'm here, but Mr. O's not there. And then all of a sudden, Mr. O pops in, and then 2 seconds later, Mr. O's phone starts ringing. Ms. Gerard is calling him to say, hey, where are you? And he's like, Ms. Gerard, I'm teaching right now, and I'm in the room. So it does happen. It's, you got to go from one link to the next, and teachers don't use the same link. It's not like Zoom. Zoom was good for us because it's the same link, and then we just sort of kicked the kids out, and then we brought the next class in. Unfortunately, they said it's not, it's not safe for whatever reason. And so that's why we're using this. This is fine, but as you can see from the beginning of the meeting, it sometimes causes confusion because I can't, as the moderator, mute you guys. I have to ask you guys to be cooperative and mute yourselves, and I thank you for doing that. With Zoom, I can just hit a button and it'll automatically mute everybody. So there are some benefits, but they felt that Zoom, for whatever reason, wasn't secure, and Zoom is working to secure that stuff, but I'm not sure if even if they approve it, we're going to go back to Zoom because to ask you guys again to move, it's like moving a big cruise ship, turning it around. If we're used to this already, we'll just stay with this and then we can sort of figure it out. I think it's working. Zoom has some other features that were great, like a breakout room and stuff like that, but we'll figure it out. So I'm just asking you guys as parents to make sure the kids are not sort of pulling the wool over your eyes, especially when you're not there, to say, hey, no, I couldn't get on. I didn't check the email. I get an email from a kid and I email the student back in 2 minutes because I'm anchored to my phone, and all of a sudden they say I never got the email. We can't play that game. This is your education. You don't owe it. It doesn't cost you anything except your time and your energy. It doesn't cost you any money. But we're asking you guys to do the right thing as students to make sure you don't shortchange yourself. Go to the class you're supposed to go. Parents, today is Thursday night, so their kids should go to bed at a normal time. Wake up in the morning, they have to get up, be at the computer by 9 o'clock. They get off at 12 o'clock. In the middle of the day, they have a lunch period, whether it's 5th period or 6th period, depending on what grade level they're on. They get a quick 25-minute break. They don't have to raise their hand to run to the bathroom. They can just go to the bathroom whenever they like now.
Mr. A, I have a question.
One second.
I'm sorry.
And then there's a lunch. There's a lunch right afterwards the teachers get from 12:20 to 1:10. And then right at 1:10, all the way to 2:30, the teachers have office hours. So let's say I had to learn something during the morning. It's a 25-minute thing. We're trying to get everybody on the same page. The teacher may invite your child to the office hour, or you can request to say, hey, I need more time. Please, can I see you after a different time? The answer is yes. The teachers have office hours from 1:10 to 2:30 in the afternoon every day. Just go in, email the teacher, and they have a calendar open. Just go in there, and the teacher will be able to give you individual instruction or maybe small group instruction. All right, so make sure you take advantage of that. Just because the regular periods are over doesn't mean in the afternoon the teachers aren't there. The teachers are there. They work until 2:50 every day. So please, please, please reach out to them, send emails. They are anchored to their emails just like I am. They're happy to help you. Ms. Flash, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Okay. So my question was, can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead.
Awesome. So I see on the slide for the student engagement that the deadline or due date per day is 11 p.m. However, a lot of teachers are they schedule due dates at different times. Have it be 2 o'clock, have it be 5 o'clock. So they're not adhering to that for the most part.
Okay.
So with that being said, now that I see this in black and white, would it be possible to go back to the teachers specifically and say, hey, can you not mark this late just because it came in like 5 minutes after your deadline?
This is my directive. So if you find a teacher that's not doing that, I've asked them a bunch of times already. Please let me know. But I'm going to send them a reminder again tomorrow. Tomorrow's our content meeting where the teachers meet in their, like, ELA, math, science, social studies. The APs are going to also remind them 11 o'clock is the deadline. That's the uniform deadline. Because again, we understand that there are some students who might share devices or might share the internet where the internet isn't as strong and they can't go online. We understand that. So we want to make sure that we engage everybody. 11 o'clock is the deadline, but I think that's a good time to allow you guys to go to sleep if you put the child to sleep, whatever it is. So it gives you enough time from when you wake up in the morning and teachers are posting work all the way to the end of the day. The unfortunate part, the teacher won't be there for live teaching at 10 o'clock at night, but at least it gives you an opportunity to submit the work if you have to submit the work. But we're encouraging, we're going to reach out to you if you're not showing up to live teaching, trying to figure out why. If you have an extenuating circumstance, I have a senior who is an essential worker, and they changed his hours. So now he can't go to school during the time. But now I know that, and now we know we make the accommodation. But don't ghost us. Don't sort of, don't pick up the phone when we call, and I'm just sleeping in bed because I want to play. I saw somebody put down Fortnite party, whatever it is, or they're playing PlayStation all night, and then now they want to sleep during the day. That's not acceptable. Let's be, like I said again, let's be a parent. It's a school night. Don't let them play during school. Did you do all your homework? Show me all your stuff. All the stuff is in Google Classroom. They can click on every one, look at their program, make sure they're paying, and make sure they go down the list. And make sure every teacher is posting assignments every single day. Okay?
Okay. One more question.
Yes.
In regards to the teacher turnaround time, like, I get it. This is like completely different, shorter class time, dealing with a lot more input. Can we get like a roundabout or like a time period as far as submitting grades? Because it's like a marking period, and like I just literally got like every grade and never knew one, and that does not work here in my household at all. Especially
I agree, and I was looking at it today. So what we told them. So our schedule in the morning is Monday morning we do a faculty meeting. That's me talking to my staff. Wednesday is our grade team meeting, and our grade team meeting was, okay, I'm gonna give you this time to make sure you upload your grades from Google Classroom to PupilPath. The reason why we're using PupilPath is that that's what you guys see. That's the platform you guys see. So that's what we're using. So we're going to transfer all the grades that we have in Google Classroom where they've been grading stuff, but now we need you to transfer those assignments to indicate to the parent where the child is. Last week, when we had the spring break, so to speak, where they canceled it, we gave students an opportunity to make up work. We did have live teaching, but it was more of don't teach anything new. This is more review. This is more enrichment. This is more small group instruction. I don't want you teaching anything new because I want to give students an opportunity to catch up, to take that deep breath. We all had that same, we need that reprieve, that mental break a little bit. That was the idea. So hopefully they caught up with everything. If they still have to submit work late, no problem. Make sure they get the work done. What I would suggest is, even if you're way behind, don't worry about it right now. I would go with most recent work. Let's say, like, for example, the AP English teachers are teaching Fahrenheit 401. Go do that assignment first because that's more current, and then go work backwards. So the date, go with something in April, and then you did that, then go to March, whatever it is. So start working backwards in terms of making up work and make sure you make up the work. My thing is that I don't believe in extra credit unless you do everything that you need. So as long as you do everything that's assigned to you, then you should get the grade you deserve. Not about lateness and all that stuff. I personally don't believe in that because there might be circumstances, something happens, whatever it is. Let's allow the students to make up the work as if they were in class, because give everyone the opportunity to pass. Don't grade them because they missed something. Grade them on the work that they provided, and then you can sort of have a good snapshot or a good barometer as to what the child can and cannot do. That's my philosophy. That's something that, slowly but surely the teachers are kind of building in. And Ms. Michelangelo just put something in there. She says she's very, very, very flexible with her grading now because of this whole thing. And also she's always been flexible. She's amazing. And definitely like that. We need more open-mindedness like that. But again, don't take advantage either, because again, you're just creating more work for yourself, and you're also putting a burden on the teacher to grade everything in a short amount of time. So start little by little. The weekend's coming up. Please, make up work then. They're not going to penalize you for having something late. They'll say late because that's the kind of way they have it indicated, but they're not going to penalize you for something late. If you are getting penalized for late work, again, send me an email. I'll address it with the teacher. We'll make sure we give you the appropriate grade you deserve.
Yeah, I'm sorry. It wasn't that she had late work. She does all her work. It was on time, but there was no grades put in at all. So I didn't know progress. So I was just like, I'm very realistic, and I'm understanding like everything over the month, just trying to understand like, should I wait a week to get the grades? Since it's just weighed so heavily, and it's just an adjustment on every front. I just want to be realistic. Like,
so normally it's like once a week at least that they should be uploading grades. Like right now, there's a big push because they have to put all their grades on there. So there are some teachers that weren't using the grading system. They were using their own personal one. We asked them all to please put it on this one system so that everyone can see it. So now they've transitioned over. So I think moving forward, we're going to see more gradual, more realistic type grading in terms of what the progress is, as opposed to, oh my God, right now I'm failing. It's just that the teachers are posting all the assignments and it's averaging out. So I would give it a couple of days, let it settle, because the teachers still have to put in grades. I know a lot of teachers just put the assignments in there and they just put it in like a placeholder that tells them, okay, I gotta go back and check my Google Classroom. So just give them a little bit, maybe by next week, when the grades are due next week, the grades over next week Friday. So give them a little bit of time to kind of catch up on the old grades and then just sort of put the stuff in. And hopefully by next week Friday, we'll see the final, almost a final grade of what they're going to get for the second market career. Okay? All right. Just one last thing, actually two last things. In the PowerPoint, there's a survey that the chancellor put out. I guess they want to get a gauge as to what you guys think about remote learning. Please be honest. The school DBN is 13K605, or you can type in George Westinghouse High School. The link is in there. I can copy it and sort of paste it in for you as well. But definitely, if you have a chance, there's a student survey. There's also a parent survey. So the chancellor kind of wants to get a gauge as to what you guys think about the remote learning is. Very brief. I think it's like 10 questions. Not really anything crazy. It's not like the school survey where they're asking you, seems like the same question over and over again, just a different way. So I put it in chat, the link. So if you got a chance, the due date is May 1st, which is next Friday. And the last one is the last little thing. If you guys have not yet asked for a device, please, even if you have one, like I said, let's get a device. Let's help out Westinghouse High School. Be a little selfish for your child. Request a device. If you have more than one kid that goes to a different school, you guys all have rights. If you have an OSIS number, you have a right to request a device. No matter what grade your child's in, request a device. I put that in the chat as well. So please request a device. You'll get it. I think they're trying to get it to you by the end of this month. I'm not sure if you'll get it, but you might get it, middle of the first week of May. So I will be here to answer any questions. But right now the meeting is now over. But I will be here to answer any questions. I want to thank you guys for coming out. Hopefully, when we go back to school, we'll have the live PTA meetings that we always do. But we'll also create a forum like this so the parents who can't make it, or I don't want to travel downtown, I just came from work, whatever it is, we'll have this forum as well. We'll have that open for you guys. So thank you guys for coming out. We will schedule definitely a 12th grade parent meeting, and we'll do grade level meetings. I don't mind doing it. I don't mind sitting and answering specific questions for your grade level. But we'll do it like we did before. I'll do like a senior one day, then a 11. We'll do it like that in a week, and then we'll go from there. Okay.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. Thank you for your patience. Thank you for working through the technology stuff. Thank you for helping me out. I appreciate you guys. Just one thing, like I said, I'm going to ask you guys and charge you guys, please be a parent, get Johnny out of bed. Johnny is your kid. Get Johnny out of bed. Take him out of bed. 9 o'clock in the morning.
Out the bed.
Thank
you, Mr. Linwood out the bed.
Thank you,
Mr.
Thank you for all the emails you have been sending us, keeping us all informed. You know, the kids try to hide stuff from us. This is Najite Bidi's mother, and I do appreciate all the emails every day. You know, you guys are doing a fantastic job. This is the first time for me in the public system, and it's amazing. George Westinghouse, you're the bomb.
Thank you very much.
Staff, everyone, you guys
George
are doing an
Westinghouse, you're the
amazing
bomb.
job.
Bomb diggity.
Thank you.
You know, you guys are amazing.
Good evening, I'm Raboni's mommy. Thank you guys. You know, it's a blessing when I get those emails from the school because, you know, as the parent rightly said, kids always trying to hide. Thanks to Miss Patterson, she always keep me informed. Mr. Hernandez and Mr. Taylor, they always keep me informed. Thank you guys so much. You're doing a wonderful job.
You're very
And
welcome.
also to the parents who are there with their kids, I also want to say thank you to you guys because as a parent myself, I know it's difficult working from home and every minute I have to be going after my twin girls. I have 2 girls in public school. So I know the parents also shout out to you guys for keeping on top of your kids as well because parent power and school power and our kids will be very successful.
Big shout out to
Yes,
the whole
we will.
teachers, all
Thanks
the parents.
everybody
Big shout out to you
coming out
guys.
to the meeting.
Thank you.
Good night,
Thank you.
everyone. Be safe.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night. Thank you.
Good night.
Hey, Mr. A, I have a question for you.
Yeah, go shoot.
Is the attendance on Pupil Path like up to date on a daily basis, or do they take time to?
No, 2:30 is the date, is the time that we ask the teachers. Some of them might be a little late and we email them, and the phone calls go out based on that attendance.
So if I see absent, that means he really was absent from the class?
Correct. They might have so what we're seeing also is like a part-time student. We might see the student pop up, let's say period 3, but they missed the first 2 classes. Or the other way around is like they pop up for the first 3 periods, and after that they knock off. They skip a gym, they skip this, they skip that. We've seen that as well. So the teachers marking them absent, that means they don't see the student in there in chat. We also ask the teachers to install this add-on. There's an add-on now that we use in Google Hangouts that actually takes attendance automatically for them, so the teachers don't have to waste time calling every kid's name. They can just sort of see in chat who popped up, and they can just sort of teach and whatnot, waste time. So if you do see an absence there, definitely challenge your child because the kid was absent during that particular period.
All right, one more question. My son has 46 credits, and according to Pupil Path, he needs only 44 to graduate. So does that make him lazy, knowing that maybe that he kind of has what he needs?
It's not. It's got to be 44 in the right places. It's 8 English, 8 social studies, 6 science, 6 math. 7 CTE, 7 electives. You got to have 5 credits of phys ed. You got to have 2 credits of foreign language, 2 credits of music. I think I'm good. I think that's all. It has to be 44. It has to be the right. It has to be the right places. So you might have. Hang on, Mr. O. Mr. O, wait 1 second, please. So it has to be the right places. We graduate students for like 55, 60 credits because we give a lot of CTE credits, which are elective credits. So we give more than we have to. So make sure they understand that it has to be the right credits in the right places in order to get them to graduate. Okay, Mr. O, you had a question?
Yeah, I was asking, is this the parent for Adonis Key?
Yes.
Adonis Key.
Oh, yes.
I have never seen him in my class since we started remote lunch. He has never come.
And this is not only online, this was in person too, wasn't it?
Well, in person, you will come like maybe once or twice in a week, but since we've been online, I have never seen him.
Okay, again, I was just verifying because, he's 17 years old. He's a little bigger than me. I don't want to sit here and have to scuffle with him over him telling me, yeah, I did it. Or I'm doing it.
He is the only one I could say in his class that don't come. He has never come. I can confirm that to you.
Okay, there's no time. So starting tomorrow, Adonis, I hope you're hearing me. Adonis, no time like the present tomorrow. I'm going to pop into your room and I'll make sure you're there.
Okay, and I just want to be clear because according to Pupil Path, his schedule starts at third period.
I'm checking right now.
Can you hear me, Mr. Azula?
Yeah, I'm listening. I can
Okay,
multitask.
I just wanted to ask because I
Hang
got
on.
a voicemail that says that my child did not sign in for online education.
Today? For today?
No.
Okay, hang on one second. Let me just check. Mr. Key, yes, third period, he starts. So he shouldn't have any excuse. Like he gets another hour to sleep pretty much. The bell schedule will start for him. He'll start at 9:50 in the morning as opposed to 9 o'clock. So yeah, he starts third period. He has no extra classes. He's just got to pass what he sees on the schedule. He's got economics, English, culinary arts, phys ed. That's it. Not that hard for him. He's just got to finish up. Finish lines right there, then get there. Okay. I'm sorry, Mom. Yeah, go ahead, Dad. I'm sorry.
Yes.
Go ahead.
I just want to say, is anybody else experiencing the problem with their child using an iPhone to try to do work? Because that's what I'm experiencing.
No.
They shouldn't. Again, we were giving out Chromebooks that right before we weren't allowed to go back to the building. So I pasted it in the chat, the remote device. Please request one. It's an iPad. It's a big iPhone, but at least you'll have two devices. Maybe you use the iPhone for video, and then you can use the iPad to do the Google Classroom. It is difficult to do it on a little device. I mean, you think the screen is big if you're using it every day, but as you're looking at it, it gets to the point where those words start jumping around the screen. So if you can find, definitely request an iPad. I think it's a 7-inch iPad, maybe I think it's 9 inches. Sorry. So it's a regular size iPad. It's actually a little better, and you can probably hook up a Bluetooth keyboard too if you had to, and go from there. So definitely, I recommend just request a device. I'll put it in the chat again.
Thank you.
Hi, Mr. A.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Wait, Mom had a different question.
I did
yeah,
have
Mom.
a question.
Atkins' mom?
Yeah,
Hang on,
I
Miss
did have a
Samuels had a question. Miss Samuels first. Go ahead, Miss Samuels.
Okay, yes, I was saying that the message was saying that he didn't sign in for online, but online didn't start, I believe, until the 23rd. And they're saying like the 19th or it was before the 23rd.
Is it still, did you get that today?
No,
did you get
I
that?
got it last week.
You know what happened was I tried to customize it. So when we do it in the school, it's a little bit easier. I upload a different type of file and it gives you the date. So I tried to do the same thing from home and it didn't work. So I fixed it because some people were saying the same thing. So if you got that message, whatever day that message was, that's the day he didn't go up to online class. So I think I fixed it from now on. So it doesn't say a date anymore, it just says today. So if you get the phone call, it went out at 6:30. It's probably still calling. I think I had 130 kids that didn't log in this morning. So 130 phone calls are going out right now. So I apologize for having a confusing date. So whatever date that was the date that he was asking from online class.
Okay, and
Okay.
he has to log in. Like I heard them saying, he has to log in for each class every 25 minutes.
Correct.
Okay.
And they're doing work proportional to whatever it is. So we've asked teachers also to try to put out there with the work. So 25-minute period, they should do some work there. And then we add teachers, if you're going to give any sort of homework assignment, any sort of continuation assignment, we're asking for every 25-minute period, they shouldn't get no more than 20 minutes of additional work outside the classroom. That it's not crazy. We don't want to sort of bog it down so that the kids are shutting down. We do exams, so there are specific days where they do specific exams. So for example, Monday is like social studies, Tuesday is science, Wednesday is ELA, Thursday is math, Friday is CTE, foreign language, and music. So we try to break it up so if you have to do a big exam, we have a specific day so that it doesn't really create a burden on the students. So like this morning, teachers, I went to a math class and they said, we're going to do an exam. It's going to take you an hour. So we're going to do it during office hours from 1:30 to 2:30. It's not going to take you a whole hour, but we'll give you an hour of time to do it in case you have to. So it's, but again, they chose the day that they were allowed to do the test. They chose a Thursday.
Yeah, that's another question I had because he did have a test today. And I was told it was an hour, that he had an hour, that it should take 40 minutes, but they give them the extra 20 in case there were any technical difficulties. But I was sitting with him as he was doing it to make sure it got done. And he ran over about like 7 minutes, I believe. is that going to invalidate his test if he goes over the hour?
No, I'll speak to Ms. Peterson. It must have been Ms. Peterson, Ms. Lynch. I'll speak to him tomorrow.
Okay, I just want to make
Okay.
sure because I know he went over by a few minutes.
No, if they let him go, they let him go. Don't worry about it. It's not gonna. If it's online, don't worry about it. I'll speak to them tomorrow though.
Okay.
Okay.
Mr. A, this is Johnny Liverpool's mom.
Yes. Hi.
I'm having problems logging into my pupil path.
Okay.
Is there any way that it can be reset?
Yeah. Yep. I'm gonna reset it now. If you could do me a favor, if you can just send me a personal email. Don't put it in chat. I don't want people knowing your email. Just put me an email so I can send you back your pupil path information.
Oh,
Okay.
that's my problem too. I'm having trouble signing into it.
So I'm gonna put my email in chat. If you could just send me a specific email, and I will be happy to address it. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
It's a Sharon Corbin. People Pad is not working on my phone, but it's working on my iPad. So I don't know if there's a phone problem.
Well, throw the phone away. What's wrong with you? Just throw it away. Come on.
Maybe it's the app itself because it keeps bouncing me off mine as well.
Yes,
What's
on the iPad?
I honestly don't use the app. So a good friend of mine wrote Pupil Path and Scheduler, and he left the company. And I think ever since he left the company, it's been the greatest thing. I just use the web, and the web works well. I don't use the app at all.
Okay.
For whatever reason, they haven't updated the app. I apologize for that. I'm just being honest. The app used to work well, and it's not as good anymore. So I recommend definitely use like the browser. It works a lot better.
Mr. A, this is
Yeah.
Josiah. This is Josiah's mom.
Hi.
Yes, I'm just calling because Josiah was out for a while. He wasn't feeling well.
Yes. Yes.
So you remember that, right?
Yes,
So
yes.
now he needs help because like in the back classes and going forward now with the classes he needs help. How do I go forward with it? Do I reach out for him to get his help?
So can we call you tomorrow? Because I think this is a longer conversation. I'll have Mr. Gerard. We'll be on. Maybe we can do like a video chat like this tomorrow, and we'll come up with a plan. But what I recommend is always go with something most recent to work. So whatever has been posted recently, work on that, and then we can work backwards. Okay? But I'm gonna have Ms. Rouse call you tomorrow to schedule time to do a video conference with us so we can come up with a good plan for Josiah. Okay?
Thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
All right.
You're gonna get
Okay.
That's gonna hand you down.
All right. Anyone else with questions?
Mr. A, how you doing?
Yes. Yes. So I just want to put it out there. So I'm a sports guy also. So we have no sports. So the one big sport that we have, the only thing we have going on is the NFL draft. It is boring, but I'm watching it only because I need some sort of sanity in terms of something current. So I want to put it out there. So 8 o'clock, I'm going to jump off. So just want to put it out there.
Okay.
Right.
Just a quick question.
Yes.
DeAndre is still being marked absent for the day.
And I apologize today. I forgot to take him off the list today. He didn't get one yesterday. He was supposed to would not get one today. He won't get it tomorrow. I apologize for that. That was me.
Oh, okay.
That was me. I'm sorry. I remember that I did it yesterday. I said, oh my God, I canceled it and I did it again. I took him off. I'll make sure I take him off.
Is up to date.
Yeah, it's Wednesday, Thursday, Friday that he shouldn't be called.
What if you miss it?
Thursday, Friday, yes.
Yeah. If he gets called, if he gets called on Monday and Tuesday, then you know he's absent. But I apologize for that one.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome. Anyone else? I'm still here.
We gotta get Mr. A, this is Brian Ramkison's mom.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. I'm just checking up on Brian's work. According to him, he's good, but he's missing some work he's got to complete. But overall, how is everything else going with him?
I haven't heard any concerns for Brian. I'm just gonna check his progress real fast. All right, so I would. Oh, hang on. Wrong market period. Market period 2. So right now, I wouldn't look at it because you don't kid because it's not looking great. But again, the teachers are transferring the grades from Google Classroom to Scheduler and Pupil Path, so don't look at it yet. I will wait a week before you look at it because right now it's looking average. He's going to pass, but it's not looking. That's not the normal.
And how is
the
it
normal
for
Brian
Akim,
grade.
Mr. A?
Yeah, because Ms. Janvier said English.
Yeah, well, looks like, well, I don't know if
Mr. Harris just posted that he needs to come to economics as well.
Say that, Ms. Caprio, again. Say it again. I'm sorry.
In the chat, Mr. Harris said that Brian needs to come to economics as well.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm seeing also. So
Economics. You went today? Or have you been going in the past? He said he goes to economics. I have him right here.
Right now, the only class I see him present for is third period. What's third period?
Brian, just come to economics.
He went today.
Mr.
No, Brian, don't come to economics.
Okay, he went today, but he's not going to English.
Mr. A, what about Akim? He keeps telling me he does go to classes. I have no idea because.
Hakeem George?
Yes, sir.
Okay, hang on. You can check. You guys can always check Pupil Pad because it's current.
I'm not
So,
getting through to Pupil Pad.
so he only missed music. I don't know if he didn't go to music at the end of the day. Don't. I would ignore that because the teacher wasn't there today. So he went to every class. So you're not getting phone calls, which is great because he's going to class.
Yeah,
He hasn't gone to class.
his music teacher got in touch with me saying he does not go to class. When
Yeah.
I spoke to him, he said the music teacher said if you don't have no questions, don't come to class.
I can tell you this. That's not true. Hang on, guys. Hang on. Who's speaking? I'm sorry. So,
them to ask questions. This is one of the criteria.
So, hang on. Let me make sure real fast. I'll answer your question in a second. So, for Ms. George, that's not true because Mr. Ryan does teach every day, but he is not. I'm looking at his attendance. If you go on People Path, you'll see the same thing. Today he was marked absent, but the teacher was out on the PD, so I would give that a pass. Yesterday he was there, but in the morning he missed 3 classes. He was late on Tuesday. I mean, he went to all the classes except the sensory class. So just got to keep an eye on him in terms of attendance. He is going, but he's got to make sure that he checks in with the teacher. I know Mr. Ryan has some project that he's doing right now, but he wasn't there today. I know Mr. Ryan wasn't there, so maybe that's why he was marked absent, but he did post an assignment. Mr. Ryan wasn't absent. He went to a professional development.
But he has an assignment for music for today.
Yes, because Mr. Ryan was present in school, but he went to a training for some technology.
Oh, okay.
Okay? All right. Anybody else with a question? I know Omarian had a question.
Akim, come here.
Okay. Anyone else? You can move them to knock off. I'm going to stay here until the last one. But if you guys have any questions, I'm here. Johnny, you got another question?
No.
Okay. You have a good night. Anyone else?
No, good night, Mr. A.
Okay, good night. Good night.
Good night.
Hello.
Yes, I hear you.
Yes, Mr. A, this is Dwight Williams' mom. He's in 9th grade. I'm just want to know how is he doing.
So do you have Pupil Path access?
Do we have it? No.
Mom, you should. There's 2 sides. There's a student side where they submit work. There's also a parent side. So you should have that. I'm going to put my email back in chat. Send me an email. I'll send you the code that you can register yourself, and you can always check your child's progress, including attendance. So make sure you definitely do that if people have access. Yeah, I don't want to put it out. I don't put it out in the universe.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
You're very welcome.
All right. Have a good night.
Same to you. But definitely send me an email before you leave.
Pardon me?
Hello, Mr. A.
Yes. Hi. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. It's Shemam's mother.
Yes. I know. Yes. How are you?
I'm a bit concerned about Shemam's performance with the online thing. I don't know if he's doing well overall.
So did
to
you?
me,
Mom,
is that if he's not doing nothing at all. I don't know. He's in class, but I don't know. I'm worried.
Okay, I'm just checking. He's doing okay. Honestly, he's doing okay. He can do a little, definitely better in history, but he's doing okay. Definitely check pupil path though. That's a big concern. Definitely, you got to check that. He's got.
I checked
he's
pupil
better.
part and I'm just seeing red.
Well, yeah, give it a couple of days because the teachers are still updating the grade. So wait for Ms. Sorial to update. Ms. Eisman's been out this week, so wait for her. She's going to update by next week. So please just wait. Give it a few days before you start getting on Shenheim. Okay.
So I'm asking you, from your standpoint, what would you say is his grade is overall?
I can't really tell because I haven't finished updating
I'm
yet.
not good at the assessment with the technology thing.
Okay. So you want to definitely, he can show you his progress. If you want to see 65s or better across the board. He's doing really, really well in English, I can tell you that. He's doing pretty well in AP US history, which is good. And then everything else sort of trickles down from there. So Mr. Hernandez, I can have Mr. Hernandez call you tomorrow to walk you through his grades. But you want to give it a couple of days.
I'd be grateful, sir.
Okay, no problem. I'll ask Mr. Hernandez to do so.
Mr. A.
And sir.
Okay. Yes.
Mr. A. Oh. Mr. A.
Yes, I hear you.
I'd like to give his English teacher.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Mr. Amit, I think his name is.
Yes, that's his name. He's doing really well in his class.
He helped him out.
Mr. A.
He was very helpful with him with the online, helping him with the transition. Mr. Namit.
Yes.
He was very, very instrumental in the transition.
Thank you. Yes, definitely. He's very helpful. He's a great addition to the school community.
Yes, he's English teacher.
Yes.
He's number.
Yes, thank you very much.
Yeah, you will.
I'm Mr. A.
Yes. Hi.
I'm Mr. A.
Hi.
This is Omarian grandmother.
Hi.
I just want to find out how his grade is doing online, if he's doing his work every day.
Okay, definitely. In the chat, if you click on the chat, you'll see my email there. You should have. I'm going to send you your Pupil Path access, and you can look online. I don't want to just have grades put out there like that. So definitely look in the chat. If not, I'll paste it again. My email is there. Send me an email, and I'll send you the Pupil Path code, so you look online for that. And then if you want, I can have the guidance counselor call you, and we can discuss the grades. But give it a few days also, because the teachers are still updating the grades. The grades are due by the end of market period 1. Okay, I'm sorry, by the end of May 1st.
Okay. When is the next parent teachers conference?
So we don't know if we're allowed to ask the teachers to stay late for. There was supposed to be one on May. I think it was supposed to be May 7th. It's supposed to be May 7th, but we're trying to wait for the chances direction to see if we can ask the teachers to stay late. If not, maybe we'll create a day where we'll have a forum like this where you can sort of plug in and speak to teachers similar to this, but not in a big forum, but more of like, hey, I want to see this teacher, and they'll give you 10 minutes at a time, stuff like that. So we'll try to figure it out very soon, okay?
Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Any other questions?
No. On the stove, it's not boiling over or whatever.
Ms. Iskov, I saw your email. That's more. I didn't want to put that out there. That's.
Is there a big chunk of ice in it?
Anyone else? Any other questions? Okay, so I want to ask everyone to have a good night. It's 7:35 already. Ms. Capio's cooking something on the stove, which I hear. And
okay.
And have a great night, everyone. Send me an email. It's all in chat. I'm going to stop recording now, just so.
Okay.
And this will also be put on the website whenever they,
Okay. You have a blessed night. Thank you so much.
Good night. Good night.
Bye bye. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Come, Omarian, take it.